Okay, I was running out of time there, so I'm going to break this up into two videos here and we'll finish up this review. We're on question 20. What form of tolerance is plus or minus 5? Plus or minus 5 is an equal bilateral tolerance. It would look like this. So we have the same amount of tolerance in one direction as the other, so it is bilateral, and it's an equal bilateral. Convert 6 inches plus or minus 5 into limit form, and that's easily enough done. We add the tolerance on the upper, and we subtract the tolerance on the lower, and we end up with a limit form. Okay, convert 6 inch plus or minus 5 into unilateral form. Well, we've done most of the steps to do that. Now we've converted from bilateral to limit form. We can now determine what the allowance is. The allowance is the difference between these two, which is 10 thousandths. And now to convert it into a unilateral form, we pick one of the limits. I'm going to pick the lower limit, 5 inch 995. And I'm going to add the allowance, plus 10 and minus nothing. And now I've converted this bilateral form into a limit form and ultimately into a unilateral form. I could have gone the other way. I could have gone 6 inch 5 thousandths plus nothing minus 10. And to check myself, I could just do this math again, make sure I end up with the same limits. So 5 inch 995 plus 10 is 6 inch 005 and 5 inch 995. So as long as the limits are the same, you can convert from bilateral to limit to any of these unilateral forms. Okay, if 6 inch plus or minus 5 is a hole diameter, that means this is a female feature. What limit is least material condition? Well, let's put the limits up there first. We've done it 1,000 times already. Those are the limits of size of that hole. What limit is least material condition? What makes a hole least material condition? That means when it's at its largest. So that is the least material condition. When the hole is at its largest, it has the least amount of material. So that is least material. This, of course, is maximum material for a female feature. Okay, now, as you'll see on the next question, it really pays to read these questions carefully. I think some of the problems you had were related to reading, making sure that you're dealing with a male feature, female feature, etc., etc. Because the numbers are exactly the same. Now if we do this with a male feature, same limits, 5 inch 995, and this is the male case. Shaft, what limit is least material condition? That is when the shaft is at its smallest. And when the shaft is at its largest, it is maximum material condition. Okay, so you see that the logic is inverted, the limits are the same, and it really relates to whether it's a male or a female feature. Okay, a simple feature control frame consists of 2 boxes. What goes in those boxes? One control symbol. One only. One of those form, orientation, position, profile, and later run out. One of those symbols goes in this box, nothing else ever. Now, sometimes that box can be big like that and have two secondary boxes or tolerance zone boxes, but even then there'll only be one symbol in there. Nothing ever goes in there but one symbol. What goes in this box or in these boxes? All the tolerance zone information. What is the shape of the tolerance zone? It'll be a diameter symbol, or it'll be a square symbol, or nothing. But the nature, the size, the position, and the adjustability of the tolerance zone is all defined in here. So everything that you need to know about the tolerance zone is defined in here. The material condition modifiers, the shape, the projected symbol goes in here. All of that stuff relates to the tolerance zone, and it's all sort of squeezed into this second box. So that's what goes in there. Okay, question number 26 was the extra credit. What is the allowance on 6-inch plus or minus 5? What is the allowance? The allowance is the total amount of tolerance range that you have. In this case, it's expressed as a bilateral, so it's 5 thousandths this way, 5 thousandths that way. It is 10 thousandths. Now, it's a little bit easier to think about it if you do it in limit form. Because it is the difference between the upper limit and the lower limit. Okay, so I've learned a lot about online testing here, and hopefully the second test will be a little bit better. That should be up here in the next day or so. The final is completed. I'm going to post that and give you some information about the final. The final will be timed. It is a 2-hour time limit. It will be available on our last day of class. I have to look when that is up. So you will have to make sure that you're available to get online and take that final. I think it is all multiple choice. That's a good thing. You'll know immediately what your score is. All those things will be nice and handy. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to correct the tests. I think I still have one person who has to take it. Turns out he actually ended up with the virus, so he was down for the count for a while, but hopefully he'll have finished that up here today. I'll get those up, and I will send you individual emails with your final score on test 1. If you have those numbers on that one and test 2, you should be able to calculate your final score if you're going to get a letter grade. So anyway, those are the answers to this. Again, I know numbers are moving fast. There's a lot of things changing. You have to keep track of the gender of the part. You have to keep track of whether it's maximum material condition or least material condition. And really the easiest way to do this is to write it out just like I have. Don't try to keep all these things straight in your head, because you will almost always make a mistake. Okay, so next video here we're going to talk about position.